But we'll go ahead and get started with number one, which this week is the challenge: Spies, Lies, and Allies, episode 6. Yes. Another old school episode filled with hookups, surprises, fights, and much, much more. The episode begins with Josh and Esther having a good time. Maybe Fester will turn into Jester. The daily challenge has agents riding on top of cars that are spinning out and doing donuts, and they are tasked with memorizing a code that will give them a combination for a lock. The fastest team to unlock their safe wins. The winners are Casey and Emmanuel, who certainly looks like he spent time in a Tijuana prison. The cast gets cut loose, and CT brings out Emmy, who apparently is the Lady Gaga of Romania. She performs a song about aliens. I am not making any of this up.
Nope.
After the cast returns to the house drunk, they do what any sensible drunk person would do: make copious amounts of pizza. Corey decides to stir shit up in the house and tells Amber that Fessy ate her pizza, which causes drama. They decide to bring Josh into the mix, who initially seems like he's going to be the adult in the room and de-escalate things, but then somewhere along the line, a switch gets flipped, and he and Fessy are screaming at each other. The episode ends on a cliffhanger in which Fessy open hand shoves Josh in the face. So the number one question coming out of this is he going to be kicked off the show?
It looks like it, because TJ came in with the preview for next week and is like, nothing good happens when I have to come to the house.
Okay, see, I didn't get to see the next one.
Oh, yeah, the preview came up, and it came right after. So, yeah, TJ walks into the house, and he's like, you guys know nothing good happens when I come into the house. You know, he won't stay. You know, he doesn't like losers. He doesn't like bullshit.
He doesn't like quitters.
Doesn't like quitters or bullshit. And yeah, it looks like he probably will, unless it's just, TJ giving a warning or something.
I don't think he's given a warning if he's coming to the house.
Yeah, he's not a warning type of guy, which is why, I'm a big TJ guy. No warnings.
Well, I think the warning was when Hughie and Coriel got into it after the elimination challenge.
Yeah.
And Corey pushed Hughie, and he had to offer up a stern lecture to those young men. Do you think Josh will go too, or just Fessy?
I think it's just going to be Fessy.
Yeah. There were rumors like circulating from the get-go that Fessy made an early exit this season. Yeah. I was hoping that it was because he lost to someone like in embarrassing fashion, but
this is kind of losing in an embarrassing fashion.
You know what it is? But like, here's the problem. Do we just skip to the finale and give CT the money?
Yes. Now? I mean, at this point,
just restart the season.
Get the new season going. It's definitely weird. The one thing that we haven't pointed out is when they go to the bar, it's just their bar.
Yeah.
And nobody else is there.
Correct.
So it's hilarious that it's just like, well, you could just do this at the house.
Right.
But let's go to this bar.
Yeah, they have the challenge.
The challenge bar. And it's just like, it
up
cracks
on the
me
wall
up.
And lights.
Yeah. It's so weird. And so like, this sounds funny to me, but like, it makes me think of like, if you go to a school in a very small like town, and everybody just kind of, but there's like way too many bars. There's way more bars than there needs to be for the size of the like college. And then so your group of friends that would just go to your house, all just go to this bar, and they're like, let me pay for drinks instead of just having cheap drinks for free at my house. And I don't know if they have to pay for their drinks or not, but it's just funny. Like, let us move away from this house and do exactly what we would do at the house.
The interesting thing about that too is they started this before COVID. The last season that took place before the pandemic hit had this weird, like they just rented it out wherever they were. You know what I mean? And this isn't like last season where it was on the site, like on the campus, quote unquote, the campus of the challenge house where they had like that igloo situation. But this is, I think this is off grounds, but it is the same thing where it's clearly they're just like renting out this, whatever it is, for them to come and cause problems, basically.
And I hope it doesn't last at, when we're, hopefully past COVID sooner rather than later. I hope they go back to bars with other people, because I do miss since we don't really have
random
the real world.
hookups.
Well, the random hookups with strangers, but the fights with strangers is one of my favorite things because they're like, well, the real world cast is here or whatever. I used to live for that stuff when I would watch the real world and they'd be like, well, they're going to this bar. I'd be like, oh, I know that bar or I've heard of that bar. And it's just like, oh my God, let's get into a fight.
Well, I think unfortunately it's probably for the protection of the crew, the cast, everybody that they don't go to those places anymore and why we won't see that anymore because of reasons like that. I don't miss the fight so much as I miss like who's in Anissa's bed? Oh, that's Ricky that she met at the bar last night. You know what I mean?
Those are funny too. Yeah. The walk of shames.
Yeah.
The walk of shames are great. Yeah. I just miss it all. I miss that all. I mean, there's a lot of things we miss because of, but like you said, they did this prior to COVID. So
yeah, I think it's
unless they just do something we didn't. Unless they do something we didn't.
No, it's a bummer. It's a safety thing.
They're spinning people on top of cars, but God forbid they go to a bar.
The daily challenges are so lame.
They are so lame.
Can we do like, okay, I get it. It's supposed to be like spies and action movies and stuff like that. Can we get a challenge where they have to be tortured and whoever holds out the longest wins?
I think it should be
like we're gonna rip your fingernails off, and whoever.
Honestly, just water torture.
Yeah, sure.
Water torture.
Well, fucking
that would be great.
Waterboard them.
Well, not waterboard, just the dripping water thing, where you just because that can drive that drives me nuts if I'm sitting.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like get real gnarly with it. Let's get
let's see what happens.
Let's get like Amanda and like saw her head off or something. Too much? I mean, supposed to be spies.
I'm not against that. Yeah, that is true. No. They should make it more like James Bond.
Exactly.
Strip them down and hit them with a whip.
Here's what I don't understand about. Let's talk about Amanda. Let's talk about Amanda for a second.
Let's talk about Amanda.
Not Ashley. Amanda.
No.
I believe they're often confused.
They are.
I like Amanda. Let me tell you why. She's a terrible competitor. She's got no place in this from a competition standpoint. I think that she's attractive, but I think that it's because she has this persona of like, I'm an evil bitch is what kind of makes her. Do you know what's really a bummer though? Well, man, it's not a bummer, I guess, but like she's like in a fully fledged relationship now with Fessy.
That's just weird.
They vacationed in Mexico together.
I just don't like that for either of those parties because I don't know.
She's growing on me.
You know what? I
maybe like a fungus.
Well, I was going to say like mold.
Yeah. You know? Well, that's a fungus.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just So is she just? There's this thing where I always, we talk about like famous people, and people say this about the Kardashians, but where there's like nothing behind the eyes. And
well, that was
Amanda
that other girl.
Amanda, they've shown her way more recently too.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention to her that much before, but now she's also giving me the persona of like nothing back there, and which is fine. No, it's fine. I almost feel like it's an illusion.
I'd rather have her on a season than Ashley.
Oh, I certainly would. She's not annoying like Ashley.
Yeah.
I just don't think she really knows what to really do. Ashley kind of knows what to do. That's why she's won. And, she knows how to stick around. There you go. Which is annoying. That's what I mean. She knows how to stick around. Right.
She ain't gonna give up. Oh, yeah. I hate that we both did that. That really upset me.
Well, it's a popular song.
That means nothing.
I would take Amanda over Ashley any day of the week. If you're confusing the two,
what do you think is a more popular song, that or Gasolina? Foreshadowing.
I would think that I'm a Survivor is, considering the Gasolina had just a very small run, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Gasolina is a very popular song and considered one of the best songs ever.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
I guess we have to talk about her just singing. And we have to talk about that's I think the key of this episode. To me, that was the highlight.
Right.
They put her in like a nice little red dress.
Very weird. Didn't like it.
Very weird. It was very weird. Made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting by myself watching this in the morning, having my coffee, and I'm like, ooh, this is a weird. Why do I feel weird? Why do I feel weird? I'm not in this house. She felt a little uncomfortable with it. That's not her vibe.
It's not, apparently it is.
But apparently it is. You wouldn't know. And then
No,
they're
because
like, oh.
she presents, she acts like a teenager. She's got like funny socks and
Mhm.
Mr. TJ, and the way she's very emotional. And but then like I had in the write-up, she's apparently the Romanian Lady Gaga.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That might not be the case.
Saying,
I just put that in there to upset you.
It didn't actually upset me because, maybe she is. I don't know. I don't know what's popular in Romania. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. I mean, like we joked around Survivor Romania. It's just day to day living. That's the show. Just randomly record people there. So everyone that lives there is a contestant on Survivor Romania. But yeah, that was
make
weird.
it to the birthday, your next birthday, you're a winner.
Yeah, exactly. You get to live another year. That's the prize. There's no money. Shout out to our Romanian listeners. Yeah. The song was weird. And then everyone's like, yeah, I kind of have it stuck in my head. It's like, yeah, because it's literally the only thing you get to listen to. So of course you're going to get the only thing you get to listen to.
Do you know what my favorite part about that was?
Yes. What is?
You know how when they play, because it's MTV and they have to pretend that they like that they care about music.
Oh yeah, that they care.
So whenever in one of their shows they play music, they show at the bottom of the screen like now playing artist.
Oh yeah, title. I lost my mind.
And it was her. It was Emmy, whatever her last name is, Alien. I was like,
yeah,
she's made it.
She made it. Yep. She's just quit this business and head for pop stardom.
Certainly quit the challenge business. Well, although I don't know.
I don't want to judge her too early. I think that she's, she's certainly I think
with a good partner, she could do well.
Yes. Yeah. She has just unfortunately had to have bad partners.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No.
She's trying. Her partners seem to not care.
Well, her partners have been, at least for the last 2 weeks, with Gabo, whose head is filled with mostly song lyrics, according to him, and then Hughie, who possibly fell asleep on top of the car. She kept saying, Hughie, what's the number? And he's just like not saying anything.
Hughie's so weird.
He had to think about it.
I had to think about it. I've been back and forth with Hughie, and I'm going to say I'm out.
Yeah, I'm fourth. I'm not back. I'm fourth. I said it last week. I've had my fill.
Yeah, you've had your fill. And I was just late to the party. I was late to the party, not fashionably late. I was just late. It was embarrassing for me to show up that late. I'm sorry.
Well,
I brought wine. I'm sorry, but
did you bring babka?
I brought cinnamon babka.
Yeah, it's the lesser babka.
There is no lesser babka.
There is. As I said,
but he sucks. I actually don't like him, and I don't want him to be back on the show. He's too much for me.
As I said last week, we already have a George.
Yeah.
I only have enough room in my heart for one person who has emotional meltdowns on the challenge, and it's filled by Josh Martinez.
Which is what we got. It was the Tori.
But that's the thing is, it doesn't. This is the thing that pisses me off about this situation, right? Was they got Josh, he comes in, he's trying to calm everything down.
He is, yeah.
And then obviously these things are edited for entertainment value, right? But then like him and Fess are in each other's faces. He's trying to calm everything down. And then literally within a blink of the eye, it didn't make any sense to me, because you need that spark. Because it's not like, we get it, Josh is an emotional guy, but also like you said last week, he oftentimes, the things that he's overreacting to are legitimate things.
Yeah.
And I think that the editing did him no justice in this situation, because he came into the room and was like, what are you guys doing? Amber, you need to calm down. And then seemingly seconds later, him and Fessy are at each other's throats.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out when if and when he gets kicked out, if, you know, TJ has a response to like, was this brought on? Like, you know, was he provoked? Was he not provoked?
Right.
That kind of thing. I mean, TJ is the ultimate judge in the room.
I think it would be funny if he kicked. I think it would be funny if he kicked Corey and Tori off for just like
starting the whole thing,
instigating it, like
that would be
pouring a little gasolina on it.
That would be the appropriate move. If he's just like, hey, you guys started this thing, so you know, guys don't hit each other. Don't hit each other. You guys know better. We'll let that slide. You two don't be instigators.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see. But you know, more to come. They left us on a cliffhanger. We'll see what happens. We're excited. We love the challenge. If you love the challenge, let us know. Get into the challenge. You can easily rewatch it. Just get into it and let us know. Give us your thoughts. Do it. It's great. You're not gonna. I'll tell you right now. If you watch 2 episodes, you're not gonna stop. You got to watch 2.